Welcome to a special edition of our podcast, coming to you live from Abingdon and Witney College. In this episode, we sit down with Ruth Davies and Steve Breen from VitrA to explore their ambitious 5-week roadshow across the UK. This conversation goes beyond the surface, diving into how VitrA is addressing the industry's growing skills gap, their innovative approach to supporting independent retailers through the Vitality Partner Programme, and what the future of smart bathrooms could look like. Join us as our guests share their vision for a more connected, sustainable, and professional future for the bathroom industry.
So, welcome to this special edition of Movers and Shakers. We're on site and we're here today in the Abingdon Witney College, a little bit of wind there on the table, and I'm joined by Ruth Davies and Steve Breen. How do you both do? All good?
Yes, very good.
Fantastic. We've got this beautiful show van behind. We'll come back to that in a second. So we've got a great lineup of questions for you both today. So firstly, the obvious is why the show van and why here today? Ruth?
Well, it's something that we've been talking about for a little while now, but this year seemed the right year to do it. So we've got lots of exciting additions to our portfolio this year, and we wanted to make sure that we got out there to our retailers and our fitters and installers, rather than relying on them to come to the southeast where we've got a showroom and an engagement centre. Yeah. So we decided the best way to do that was to get a custom fitted trailer for 5 weeks and go around the country and show our latest additions.
Okay, fantastic. And Steve, what's been the feedback so far today?
It's been great. We started last week, so it's early days, but really good, wasn't it? The first 2 days we were, I wouldn't say we were overwhelmed. I think it met our expectations. We're doing this for a purpose. We're trying to get new displays, interest in our new products, etc. before we came to the college, of course, and it's succeeding. So it's been great. And just picking up on something Ruth said, it was about timing for us as well. We've come through some challenges being a Turkish manufacturer, with all the sort of macro challenges that they've got. And we wanted to come into the market in 2026 and be loud and proud. Yeah. And I think there's no better way actually than having your brand going up and down the motorway and stopping in different locations. So
I think it's like, like we're here and obviously there's a physical presence, but there's also a marketing presence also. And I've seen plenty of social media activity, which is really getting the brand out there. So guys, understanding about displays, that's a really important factor. So why is it important to do that in terms of the salespeople going into the showrooms to talk about displays, but also do this? Why is the two together a smart thing to do?
Well, I think it's really important that people can see and feel and touch the new product. So whilst having our sales team out there evangelising about why they should select a certain product, and obviously we've got the toolkit you'd expect in terms of literature and videos, there's nothing better than a retailer and their fitting team coming and actually seeing for themselves and being able to ask direct questions to our technical team. Right. So the two definitely go hand in hand, and our sales team have been very active in going out inviting people to come along alongside their visits. Yeah. So for us, it's just about a joined up approach.
Yeah. So you have your show centre in London, you have your show centre in Oxfordshire, but what we're saying, if people haven't got the time to come and visit, which obviously you'd like to encourage as well, you'll go to them.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? It's about confidence as well. The retailers want to see brands invest because it gives them confidence around the product, etc. And I think this is a physical sign of intention and investment. So that was important to us. So we'll always get into showrooms as much as we can, but it's sometimes it's good to offer them a break as well and come out and get a couple of chocolates and free prize if they can win it as well. So
lovely. Perfect. And then we're here today at the college here in Oxfordshire. So how important is it for VitrA to fly the flag? There's plenty of flags here today as well, in terms of apprenticeships and training, and what can you offer the industry?
Well, it's something that Steve and I are personally passionate about, as well as VitrA as a company.
Yeah.
That it's not escaped anybody the skills gap that there is, and how maybe sometimes the bathroom industry can be seen as a little bit dull and boring behind maybe some of its partner industries like kitchens, which always have that more of a wow factor. So it's something that we're definitely early in our career, early in our journey with this, but it's something that we have decided to prioritise with the local group of colleges in our area.
Yeah.
So we're in Didcot, Oxfordshire, which is 8 miles down the road from here. So it's taking a partnership approach with those colleges, and we've been talking with the head of faculties here and at Bicester to really understand what they're looking for in terms of enriching the learning experience for their learners.
I mean, we're talking about this as a big industry topic, Steve, aren't we? We've got this this very bold statement that maybe in 10 years' time, a third of installers could be retired, and that's a really big fact. In fact, one major national merchant chain has said it could be a lot higher than that, and that's the future for all of us, is that? So how important is it, by bringing the van here at a learning college, is it to attract the next future generation of installers, Steve?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And using that word confidence again, we've done research in the past, and I know the Bathroom Association has done research in the past, that the installer has such an influence over choice in the bathroom, because it's that confidence you need. It's plumbing, right? Yeah. It's difficult. So that's first and foremost for us. And there's kind of a self-interest side to this, in the fact that there are probably other brands out there that are connecting with installers more than VitrA has in the past, and we want to rival that at least, if not get better, because I think it's super important for what we've just said. But there is an altruistic side, as Ruth mentioned as well, that we want to give back as a business in this community. We want to give back, and Ruth and I are both going through the same stage of life at the moment. We've both got sons who are choosing their careers, and we know that one or two of them are facing choices around: do I go to university, take all on that debt, do I go for a trade? And I hate to use the cliche of AI, but installing, plumbing trades are AI proof, and they're going to have a big future around them. And I think showing some investment behind that for many reasons feels right at the moment.
Well, I've yet to see an AI solution fit a bathroom, but let's wait and see. But guys, so if there was a bit of advice you would say to somebody watching this that's thinking about a career in KBB, specifically bathrooms, what advice would you be given then? Probably similar to what Steve was saying, Ruth.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say go out there and explore your options. It's a really exciting time in the bathroom industry right now, because I think there's two key things driving the industry, and there's sustainability, which is helping innovations, and there's also this smart connected living. We're all used to Sonis's our living room, turning your oven on while you're on the train home, this connected living, and it's now really is becoming dominant in the bathroom, as you can see by our smart toilets.
It's the last room to embrace it, isn't it, in the house?
So innovation is really happening now in the bathroom space, and I don't think that was true 10 years ago at all. So
that you're saying that might attract, say, a younger generation.
It's not just about Ruth. It's not just about the kind of dirty plumbing anymore, of like knocking walls, putting pipe in. It's like wellness solutions, and the features and benefits around that. Smart toilets, as we're showing today. So there's some real interconnected play stuff. And also, I think we've seen post-COVID such a massive investment in bathrooms. It's kind of that space that was always transactional and functional every day for people. And then during COVID, people found they'd got more time in the house, spend more time in the bathroom. They became aware of how noisy the toilet was. So there's various things going on around quiet marks. So I think it's a really exciting time, what with technology and sustainability in the bathroom.
So it's on that very good point there about people investing in their homes. So would you suggest possibly that the average order values have increased?
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, obviously, you've got to counterbalance the kind of cost of living crisis, etc. What we have seen is that consumers are generally picking one or two hero products, for example. So, for example, if someone is saying, I really do fancy one of those smart toilets, or a really beautiful kind of higher end vanity unit finish, real wood, for example, they then may say, but actually, I will choose a more budget friendly tile or WC, for example. So I think consumers are being savvy and are definitely budget conscious. However, there's never been more choice, right? I mean, there's never been more choice if you're looking to design a bathroom. There really is.
It's a really interesting question, and one we're really trying to get to the bottom of. It's a minefield, right? You know, tiles now being replaced by wall paneling, etc., which is cheaper, which opens up. You can spend more money on the furniture or the toilet, etc., etc. But certainly, our new products focus on all areas. So sort of low, you know, good, better, best. But we are seeing much more interest in some of the best, you know, some of the upper end solutions, which are far more expensive. And again, it comes back to that investment in the bathroom versus, because kitchens have been invested in for so long, bedrooms, and I think it's bathrooms' turns.
I think when I first started in the trade, I was selling a 4-piece pottery set, Trentware, £49. Has it changed, Ruth, since then?
Yes, slightly.
Although you can get toilets for that now.
Yes.
There you go, I think I was selling a Miller from Sweden toilet seat for 120 quid even 30 years ago. That's incredible.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, you're showing your age there a little bit at the time.
Been around a few years. So guys, can we talk about the Vitality Partner Program? So I understand that you've invested heavily with your retailer or dealer base. Can you just explain a little bit about that and why is that good for a retailer? Who would like to talk about that?
So the predominant piece with the Vitality range is that it's protected. So we really do want to help independents thrive. We think independent showrooms are a key pillar of the KBB industry and the bathroom industry. But without offering them protection from the online players and the online purchase, it can be a really tough gig.
So we're talking about bricks and mortar retailers here.
Absolutely. So our Vitality partners are exactly that, independent bricks and mortar bathroom retailers.
So they're investing in you by potentially putting a number of displays on, and you're investing back with them with some kind of, I would imagine, some kind of protected sales area.
Exactly. So there's a whole kind of package of benefits, but ultimately it's a protected range and also showroom support. So helping them drive footfall, helping them ensure that we're signposting their customers to the benefits. So, for example, QR codes on POS, making sure that the showroom is a real experience, because that's ultimately where they differentiate from the other players.
Yeah, the biggest thing I hear on these conversations around supporting retailers is about lead generation. Now, whilst everyone can't magic leads up overnight, is there anything you're working towards to support retailers in that ilk?
So it's something that we've done, and I think all manufacturers would say they've got a showroom or a dealer locator on their website. But something this year for us is how to really ensure that that's adding value and is driving footfall. So working with retailers to understand what type of leads they want us to pass to them. And again, it's part and parcel of how we are putting our marketing toolkit for the new products. So we can say, we know which retailers have which products on display. So when Mrs. Jones comes to our website, she can then say, this is my postcode, this is where I can go and touch and feel and see this product.
I mean, the same retailer that says that they'd like to receive more leads, when I ask the question about what are you doing about being proactive, they say, well, no one's coming in the showroom. I said, well, what are you doing about that? So any advice you can give them to become more proactive?
It's something we were talking about actually earlier. I think that's one of the things we need to try and help retailers with, drive more footfall into their space, because once you're in, this is what's fantastic about the independent retailer. They are very, very good at selling. They know their industry. They're very credible in the fact that most of them have either been fitters or have a team of fitters where they constantly learn. So we're trying to work that out at the moment, and we're invested in many different ways. As I say, we can invest in our website, which becomes a bit of a pull and push type, but it's an area of focus for us. So we might not have the full answer now, but if you speak to us again,
I think a lot of SME retailers, they're a small company and they really do value that kind of advice. So even if it's just practical advice, they really do welcome that.
And the biggest thing really for independents is word of mouth. So word of mouth is really what sets them apart. So I think there's lots of ways you can leverage that through marketing. Exactly. And little things like making sure you're asking customers to review you and things like that. So again, it's on our roadmap for this year for really building up a really tangible, valuable toolkit for our retailers.
So what do you think in this very challenging market for some is the common mistakes that you see some retailers making, and what advice could you give a retailer, guys, that would help to increase their own profitability, perhaps?
No, I'm not sure I see mistakes. I probably see choices that retailers make, and believe me, I would never patronise them and tell them what choices to make, because they know far more about their business and the business than I do. In terms of delivering margin, I think it's trying not to get sucked into that competition against the internet and against DIY, and searching for brands which can hit a lower price point, and therefore sacrifices that nominal margin. So you might make a percentage margin, but that nominal margin to hold a position, because actually I think there's a lot to be said, and we saw this in our research as well when we did some research around the retail sector. Customers will buy into confidence, and our retailers can give them so much confidence.
They're the specialists, aren't
Absolutely, and there's a price for that. There's somebody to go back to if something goes wrong. You can't go back to the internet, and we all know that when you do, you go through call centres and etc. etc. It's not so easy. You want to go back to who fitted it, who sold it.
Right.
So I think there's a real confidence in that.
The overall package.
Absolutely, what they offer, they're an ecosystem in themselves, aren't they?
That's right.
So I think just be confident in what they're doing.
Yeah, so I think there's a big thing. So lots of manufacturers, Steve, they'll give lots of very good product information, and they'll give training for their dealers. But what sort of things do you think that manufacturers in general, I guess, could give in terms of business support? Do you think that's perhaps a way to go for the future? Would that stand VitrA apart from perhaps somebody else?
It's certainly one of the key pillars to building a partnership, and that's something that was our aim with Vitality retailers. Was to not just be a supplier and a manufacturer, to understand their business. And Steve's talked before in previous interviews that we've done about us taking real time to go and listen to retailers and understand from them what they need and what they're looking for from a supplier. So we can imagine what they'd look for from us in a partner, but them actually telling us, and it's varied, because that's the thing with independent retailers, no size fits all. So it's making sure you've got a package, but you're absolutely right. It's how we can not just ensure that we deliver a box to their front door.
And we need some feedback, and the onus is on us to get that feedback, because we're a manufacturer, so we invest a lot in new products. We need the voice of the customer to help us to continue to innovate and bring the right solutions. So we need to do more of that. But at the same time, we have the privilege of taking space in a retailer. So for that privilege, we owe back, I think, and that is to bring to them market knowledge, market trends, information. And I think we do okay at that. We want to do better.
Yes.
We want to continue to do better. And I think one of the things we've discussed is kind of focus groups within the industry. We're really interested in getting that voice in to help us help them, really. And it can be circular, because Ruth said it's a partnership. And I think partnership gets used so loosely, but actually the whole premise around the Vitality Partner Programme was that partnership. And we really want to live up to that through 26 and beyond.
I guess, Steve, using your word there about listening, there's two distinct categories. There's the retailers, but there's also the installers, isn't there? Do you categorise it in a different way, and what sort of ways would you do to get that information? How would you attract that feedback?
It's a really good question, actually. At the moment, we generally, our predominant conversations are with the business owner, right? It's with with the showroom manager, the retail owner, maybe a head designer sometimes. But because the installers and the fitting teams are generally out of the showroom, out in customers' houses, we often, obviously, we do get feedback through, but it's something that we can do better at. I mean, there are some retailers that are very good at offering us specific feedback, but it's certainly something that we're looking to get much stronger links with. There's such an
I think we're fortunate that lots of our customers are installers as well, or have been installers. But it's something we want to do more of.
So the engagement centre, Steve, that you have, can you just explain a little bit about what that is? And is there a technical area there potentially where we could attract, say, some apprenticeships or some apprentices where they can come and learn about the technical side of bathrooms?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done that in the past, and we call it engagement for exactly that. That's what we want to drive, engagement in that space. it's a play on words, right? But it's not just a showroom, because you call it a showroom, that's what people expect to see from it. Nice product.
I think more high end.
We want to make it a play space as well, so we can bring installers in, we can bring apprenticeships in. We did it before where we set up lots of frames, and we kind of showed all the features and benefits and how easy it was to do frames. So absolutely.
So on the feedback that you have had then, so what's been the most sort of revealing revelation on the feedback for you guys where you thought, actually, that's a good point, we'll look to make a change?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Specifically from the fitting side?
Or from the retail,
Oh.
Well, you've got it there.
From the retail side, it was probably being
from
able...
a marketing perspective, potentially.
So from the retailer, it was probably having... displays that aren't just show and tell, just aren't a beautiful product sitting there. So better signposting to features and benefits. So for example, the majority of our taps now have a super fix fitting, which is fit tools without tools in 15 seconds.
That's cool.
So actually being able to not just have a beautiful tap just sitting on a vanity basin.
Like a wrench underneath it.
Exactly, and that's something we've got on the trailer now where you...
Periscope and then you can almost get there,
not anymore. You simply, even I can do it, and I don't have any technical plumbing qualifications. So I think just people being able to touch, feel, see, and it not just always being about a pretty room set. But I think, gosh, you have got us there. I'm not sure about installer feedback that we take, really. Lots of feedback on frames and
you get lots of feedback on frames, some of the features,
all that sort of thing people
absolutely.
Talk about,
instructions, manuals.
Instructions is a big thing. No other reason.
Which is why we do invest. So, for example, the smart toilets now we've
you probably need instructions.
It's by video.
Right. Okay.
So you scan the QR code as soon as you unpack the box. There's a big QR code which takes you to a video. Which is not the lovely shiny marketing video. It's somebody actually fitting and installing. So that's probably the biggest feedback, is just super clear instructions and installation guidance. So it's not guesswork.
Okay, so looking ahead strategically, what do you think is the biggest opportunities for KBB retailers moving ahead? What sort of things do you think they should be thinking about to perhaps look at incremental sales?
I think really embracing the biggest asset they've got, which is their physical bricks and mortar showroom.
Right.
So something we're hearing about more and more this year is retailers really embracing this kind of experience centre within their showrooms, where actually they invite customers to come in and use an area of their showroom. They can book it, it's a private area. They can use the shower, the smart toilet.
You don't mean anything like that, do you?
Well, they can. Well, hopefully they wouldn't use it to the full degree, but
I've never seen that before, Steve.
But quite rightly, retailers are saying a customer is going to invest upwards of £10,000-12,000. They want to. They don't want to wait to experience these products when they're in their bathroom fitted. So I think really embracing the asset they've got. They've got a physical showroom, and how to make it a place where customers really buy into their brand and what they're offering.
I picked up a point you both said that you are both passionate personally about apprenticeship. That's a really good thing to hear. So what advice perhaps could you offer, let's say, KBB retailers thinking about hiring an apprentice, whether they should do it or they shouldn't do it?
I'd say just educate yourselves, because I've learned so much in the last 12 to 18 months. Because it is the unknown, and I think that's one of the largest problems is actually you may have a retailer or a bathroom business that's passionate about this, and I'm sure many are, but how is it expensive, is it complicated, how much time is it going to take me away from my business to invest in this? So I think really just taking the time to understand what that commitment would look like and what that pathway would look like, because rather than say, actually, I think that's probably going to be too complicated or take too much focus out of the business.
But I would say certainly investigate it, because as you said right at the beginning, the installer base is not getting any younger, and there's going to be a shortage at some point, and we need good qualifications, and as I say, touching back on our own personal experience, you know, we've both got sons of that age that are looking to do anything other than work really hard sometimes. So I think I just think there's a real opportunity to show young people actually what you can do and what is available, because I'm not sure the careers services are doing as well as they could have done in the past. So I would say investigate it, because one, for sustainability of your own business, and two, I think giving the youth something to work towards.
Absolutely. I think just by having these kind of conversations conversations today definitely helps in that overall message about we need to have a vibrant future, don't we, really? Guys, so one question each on this last subject before we go to the fun stuff. So, like if you were to give one bit of advice to a retailer or to an installer, we'll start with you, Ruth, with the retailer. What's one bit of advice you give, maybe from marketing perspective again, about how to be successful for the future?
Oh gosh. I think it would understand who your audience are. So understand who you're who's your ideal customer that you want to walk into the showroom, and understand what other choices they have. Okay. Then you can sit and say, okay, so what are the reasons I can give them to choose me?
Okay, yeah, so what's unique about our offer? Yes, for the audience. Yeah.
Because there's lots of different people out there and looking for bathrooms, and not all will be showroom the right persona for a showroom customer. Okay. So really understanding and being very clear in what you offer.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. And Steve, what advice would you give to an installer about having a better future?
Wow, I think stay relevant, so stay trained. There's a lot of new technology coming through. Okay. And a lot of new things to put in the bathroom beyond the conventional toilet, basin and tap, lots of new wellness products. So stay relevant, understand what's coming in and tie the whole basket up.
Yeah, okay. Okay, fantastic. And then we always ask these last couple of questions, guys. Can you both relay one amusing story from your career that other people watching could learn from? We'll start with you first, Steve.
I've had a very interesting career. I've had a few different industries, but I'll take it to the paint industry. I used to do specialised coatings for ships, and I was down in I think it was Liverpool or Southampton. It was one of the dry docks, and they were painting a cargo deck. So it was actually a car carrier. So they were painting it, and the paint's a 2-pack product. So part of it is the actual colour of the paint, the liquid paint colour. The other part is the curing agent. So it's quite hard stuff, this.
You're not going tartan paint here, are you?
No, not tartan paint, but it was certainly sticky paint, because after about 2 or 3 days, this paint wasn't drying, and it was baffling everybody. And we had professors down from head office and all sorts, only to find out that they'd forgot to put the curing agent in it.
Ouch.
So yeah.
So that's read the instructions, basically.
So it was basically read the instructions, always check with somebody. Read the installer manual.
There you go. That's that bit of advice. And yourself, Ruth?
I don't know if it's amusing as such, but something that I'll never forget is I was fresh out of uni, first job, and I had a very simple job. I looked after, as part of a bigger job, but I looked after all the promotional materials. So I said, we always do calendars. This was 20 odd years ago. Yeah. So I very proudly put this calendar together, sent it all out, and I was very proud of myself until the phone started ringing and the dates were all wrong.
Ouch.
Because it was a leap year. And I had assumed that the company I was using would know the correct dates. So it wasn't that amusing at the time.
But proof check, that's what you said.
However, it did teach me a very important lesson to always proofread. Right. And my boss at the time said, because I thought I was going to get fired, I was only 6 months in, and everyone makes mistakes. You should never make the same mistake twice.
No, that's very true.
Exactly. So now I always check the dates on any calendar. But proofreading is now, I'd say, quite a skill.
Once bitten, twice shy. Yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't funny at the time. But now I look back and think it is quite amusing. But
they're good stories, both of those there. So like Ruth, I'm a very social person. I love to take people out for evening meals and have a good conversation. Nothing about the industry, of course, but it always gets onto the industry. So Steve, if I was to take you out for a lovely meal with Ruth, where would we go? We'd go pub grub, we'd go Indian, we'd go Italian. What would you fancy, and what would you wash it down with?
Oh, if you need to get me, you need to take me for Indian.
Is it?
Oh, you've got to take me for Indian, and a good bottle of white wine.
Okay, fantastic. Ruth?
Well, I'm a real fan of Turkish food. So when I started working for a Turkish company, it was a bit of a win-win. Yeah. And we're lucky enough to go over to our global HQ quite a few times a year. And
good lead in there, by the way.
Beautiful hospitality. Yeah. And so the best restaurants are the ones where you don't order this set menu. It just keep, and in Turkey it does just keep coming and coming and coming. Oh, and the dips and everything. Breads, yes. So that would be my idea.
I think we've got a date here. I think, Steve, you have have to come to the party on this one, mate.
Yeah. Well, you like Turkish as well.
Second to Indian,
Yes.
Turkish food is amazing.
There you go.
Really fun.
Steve, Ruth, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this very special edition of Movers and Shakers. If you've enjoyed watching today, you can press like and you can leave your comments. We definitely like your comments. If you'd like to subscribe, hit the bell icon to receive future notifications. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.